What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, giving you guys a quick market watch, letting you guys know what the heck is going on in the secondary market, seeing if we can save you guys a couple of bucks, or of course, even better, make you guys a couple of bucks. So this is an interesting market watch because this one was really supposed to just be a reaction to YCS Seattle. I was going to let you guys know what cards are going up and down based on, what happened at that event. Obviously, like the dominance of Zodiac and Infernoids getting some tops in and stuff like that. But then Konami decided like the day after to pretty much drop like this huge bomb on us, a new ruling update where basically pendulum summoning 5 from the extra deck is going to practically be impossible. In fact, 4, 5, 3, it's just really not going to happen anymore because of the way that they're kind of ruling pendulum monsters in the extra deck and how they work. And now I kind of gotta compartmentalize all that stuff and kind of figure out what exactly is going to go on, because now, because of that, I think that people are going to lose a lot of confidence in pendulum cards. And I think that some of the pendulum archetypes, like their expensive cards, are probably going to plummet because a lot of the players are going to feel like, oh shit, we're basically on a 6-month clock that we have to like play these decks before they're just completely ripped. So let's start with Oracle of Zephyr. Let's start there, guys. This is a card that I've basically been saying keep your eye on because if you guys don't know, Zephyr are getting a lot of support in Maximum Crisis, and if you've never really seen the deck in action, it's a very real deck, especially the Infernity Zephyr build. I actually showed it off on my channel. It's a very strong deck. You can play like Launcher twice. It runs Beetles. You can make some really stupid fields with like Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss and like Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon and like Nirvana High Paladin, and you go like +5. It's a very, very strong deck, and Oracle Zephyr is a card that you've always needed in any Zephyr build because it is a Rota for the deck, and Zephyr are getting their own Rota, and this card has never been reprinted. The problem is the deck basically will not be able to function under these new rules. Like, I know the Infernity build will not work at all. Like, this deck basically, when we get those new rules for Code of the Duelist, it's not going to fucking work at all. And maybe some of the pure Zephyr versions will work, but even then, Grammatron basically sends monsters to the extra deck. So if you're using multiple Grammatrons, it's not like you're going to be able to, like, if you're blowing up your own cards, it's not like you're going to be able to massively pendulum summon them. You're only going to be able to pendulum summon like one, and I don't know. I think that the Zephyr deck might already kind of be dead on arrival. It might be very similar to like DDDs, where you've got this really small window of like 3 months to like play the deck, and then it just basically becomes unplayable. So Oracle Zephyr is a card that's going up, but I honestly think that this is just a card that you want to dump, you want to get rid of. If you're not playing Zephyr, I would not even touch this card. I also think that people who want to play Zephyr for the 3 months after Maximum Crisis, I think you should wait a couple of days. I think people are going to panic. They're going to start undercutting each other because they realize this card isn't going to be worth anything, and this 1050 price tag is going to go to like the 650, 550, and you can get this card for maybe half the price. So I would just hold off on it if you don't have it. If you do have it, fucking dump it before everybody else tries to dump theirs. Wind Witch Ice Bell. So this card has basically doubled in price. It has everything to do with Fusion Enforcers. Also, let's just be honest, she's easily like the cutest Wind Witch, so there's no reason for her to stay at the same price as like Glass Bell and Snow Bell. Like, come on now, she's clearly the waifu of the archetype. But Ice Bell, she is the card that pretty much you run the most copies of. She is the card that gets you to your one card. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, she is currently about $14, but I think yesterday she was at a high of like 20 bucks. I think that's a little much, spending $60 on a playset of her, but if you're asking me if she's ever going to be as cheap as the other ones, I don't think so, because honestly, she's just the best one. And with Fusion Enforcers coming out this week, everybody knows about the Wind Witch invoked artifact deck, or some people call it like WWE Wind Witch, like Wind Witch Eidolons, or I guess you can't even call it that because it's invoked in the TCG. But yeah, she should probably stay as the most expensive one. How the deck performs at like YCS Atlanta might tell us how her price is going to fare. But as of right now, I mean, if you're not going to play the deck, like, sell it. And honestly, at this price, I think you could pick her up for $14, because I don't think she's going to go much cheaper than this. I don't think she's going to be the same price as like the other one, which is Reborn Tengu. The hype is real. If you guys haven't realized this card has skyrocketed. I mean, you look at the price here, it's basically tripled in price for the ultra rares, and the super rares are even dumber. This was like a less than $3 card. It's currently sitting at like $11. And yeah, if you guys are wondering why Reborn Tengu is shot up, it's basically because if you look at the link summon, it is almost identical to synchro summoning. And if any of you guys were playing when Extreme Victory came out, like, yeah, Extreme Victory gave us Tour Guide, which was broken, but you can make an argument that Tengu was more broken than Tour Guide overall, because like Tengu was so broken with synchro summoning, and a lot of people are looking at link summoning and they're thinking, if I link summon with Tengu, I just get another Tengu and then I can special summon again. So it looks like Tengu is going to have so much natural synergy with link summoning, and the price it's a little hype right now. It is yet to be proven, obviously, but we'll see in the OCG when they get these cards in a little while. We'll see exactly what happens. Right now, I'm not sure how I feel. You know what? This is like the original price of Tengu all the way back. Tengu was like $15. I don't think I'd spend $15 on Tengu quite yet until it is done, at least something in the OCG. My body as a shield, or my wallet as a shield, guys. My body as a shield, it seems like overnight has kind of become almost a staple in Yu-Gi-Oh, because there is so much card destruction, and the holographic versions are obviously going up. You see the Gold Series 3 version is up like $1.50, and then this one right here, it says 35 cents, but you have to include the $3 shipping. It was about $1. So most of the versions of My Body as a Shield have like gone drastically up in price. It's because it stops the Dryden, it stops the Torrential Tribute, it stops the Dark Hole, the Interrupted Slumber, the Regeki. I've seen some people even playing like Ring of Destruction and like Paleozoics, another destruction card, and you can My Body another copy of My Body. So yeah, it just kind of became an overnight staple, and all of these hollow versions are super out of print because My Body as a Shield like hasn't seen play in fucking years. So if you're looking to get this, I say go ahead and just pick it up. I mean, if you want to play on non-hollow versions, you can probably still get them for like 50 cents or whatever. Devati, Infernoid Devati. So this is a card that ever since Infernoid started topping in the OCG has basically went to $20, and it's kind of just been hovering between like 20 and somewhere between like $27. Infernoid's had a pretty decent showing at YCS Seattle. You see Devati is about $26. Obviously Billy Break made it to top 8, and there were 3 Infernoids overall. I think one of them was just a straight pure version of Infernoids. I think that a lot of people are looking at Infernoids and they're thinking they're going to pretty much be 100% unaffected by like link summoning and all the mechanics, and Infernoids, the arrow seems to be pointed up. Now obviously I personally don't expect that Grass is Greener to be at 3 for the entire year, because I think that card is fucking broken. But even if they took away that, like, Infernoids still just look like a very strong deck. Like all of these new rule changes and the game getting slower, like Infernoids aren't affected by it at all. Like they can still do everything that they need, and with Void Feast being such a strong card, I think they're looking like a very attractive deck. So I don't think the price is going to go down on Devyati anytime soon. I think it'll stay above $23, and I think if you want to play Infernoids, you're basically just gonna have to drop $40 to $50 on a couple copies. That actually leads me to Void Imagination, which I actually always like. Void Imagination and Vanishment. I always get these damn cards mixed up. These are 2 cards I would keep your eye on. You see the price is barely up, but I would just keep my eye on these cards, guys, because the thing about them is they came out of Cross Souls and Clash of Rebellion, and neither one of these cards ever got reprinted. They were not in the Mega 10s. They're currently both at about $4. It says $2 here, but that doesn't include the actual shipping. So actually it's about $3.43. I would just keep an eye on these cards if any of you guys are interested in playing the deck, because they're both super rare. They never got reprints, so you know they're not the easiest cards to get. Kozmo seemed to be doing very well, and the price definitely reflects that. There was a Kozmo Zodiac build that topped YCS Seattle, and Kozmo seemed to be doing well because I think it's a bunch of things. Kozmo do well in a format that's predicated on lots of destruction. Number one, Dryden doesn't really do anything. The Kozmo Town, you just like search and your opponent doesn't get anything. And also the fact that the big ships are kind of just immune to targeting, and they don't really care if they're destroyed anyways from Dark Hole or Regeki, because they can banish themselves and bring other things out. And some of the cards coming out of Breaker of Shadows, like the best cards like Tin Can and Cosmojo, are definitely going up. Cosmojo being about $13 right now. It used to be about a $10 card. It was never, actually I want to say at one point Cosmojo was like $4, and then you see Tin Can basically just creeping back up to like $8. This could easily become, if Kozmo like top 8 or they do really well, this could easily become like a $10 card, because most Kozmo versions run multiple copies. Cosmic Cyclone, this is a card that I've been over a couple of times, and it seems to be a little bit of a roller coaster, constantly going up and down. I think that as the what's it called, the invoked archetype comes out this week in Fusion Enforcers, I think people will start playing this more because of Artifact Sanctum. I mean, if you looked at the finals of YCS Seattle, Alexis Rodriguez pretty much won because he hit an Artifact Sanctum with Cosmic Cyclone instead of hitting the Mirror Force. And you know, if it would have been like if it would have been Noah's turn and he would have used Twin Twister and hit the Artifact Sanctum, he probably would have ended up losing the duel. So this is a card that I would keep an eye on. I feel like it isn't worth $20, but I think it's gonna stay at $20 because it is a really good card for like sniping out artifacts, and there isn't any other card that kind of does that as well. But I have a hard time investing $20 into like a single copy of a 1-for-1 spell and trap removal. So like, I think that it'll stay at this price. I don't really think it's worth it to me personally. Fairy Tale Snow. So this is going to just be like one of the more expensive commons in the game. You see it had a normal price of like $1. It's over double that. It's because it's so good. And like Infernoids, I think it's pretty much replaced Raiden and Infernoids, so where if you activate that grass looks greener, you get your graveyard loaded up. Not only can you summon Infernoids, but then you can obviously summon Snow. You can summon Snow and just do so much battle damage. Also, just being able to kind of force out Drancias is really, it's like a really big power play for Infernoid players. I think that Snow could easily kind of stay as like a $3 common. I mean, we see it with like your kaijus and how expensive they are, where like Gamma sells like $5. The last card I want to talk about, and actually it's more than one card. Now this is a little bit of Therio, guys. Keep an eye on Nekroz stuff. People are looking at all the ways that Konami is hitting like the speed of the game. They're saying, no guys, there will be no more Pendulum Summoning 5 from the extra deck. You know what I mean? All of this synchro spam garbage where you open or this Exceed spam garbage, you open Terra Top, you get like 15 cards. Like, no, we're killing all of that shit, guys. I think you guys should definitely keep an eye on Nekroz, because we all know that Nekroz were designed to pretty much hard counter any deck that relies on its extra deck. That's why like Brianna can bounce extra deck monsters. Unicorn basically just like shits down their throat where they can't do anything. And then Colossalus does the same thing. If you've really been paying attention, the Nekroz of Valkyries has basically stayed a little over $20. And, you know, even though a lot of these cards have been hit, you know, like Nekroz of Shurit obviously is rest in pepperonis, just keep an eye on Nekroz cards, guys, because they're all about $10. None of these cards, the important ones, they never got reprinted in Secret Forces. And this is about a 2-year-old set. So this isn't like Yosenju. If Nekroz end up getting something crazy back, like if Shurit comes back to the game, we could see overnight Nekroz become maybe like a tier 1 deck, and these cards would skyrocket in price because they have never been reprinted. And I don't even think Konami, like, what I mean, maybe they could get them in like a reprint set or something like that, but they might not even be on Konami's radar. So I would just keep an eye on Nekroz as we move closer to Code of the Duelist. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Were there any cards that I missed out on? If I did, please leave that in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.